At Community First Credit Union, there's a lot to see. We build customized financial solutions so you can enjoy the life you want. We make it comfortable to have a conversation about what's important to you, like helping you stay on course to reach your savings goal. And what's important to us all, like helping to support causes that count. See for yourself what See First can do for you.
On there.
Good morning, everyone.
Good evening, good morning. Welcome to the Spirit Realm Network and the Frightfully Good Supernatural Stories with your host, myself, Anne Regovich, and the delicious.
Hello.
And she's in a fabulous mood this morning.
I am. It's glorious.
Yeah, it's all right. We have our coffees. We are getting ourselves coffeed up, so the blood level of caffeine to platelets is good.
Good morning to our beautiful people.
And you guys have been on here chatting for 20 minutes. Wow. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Kelly. Oh, there we are, Canada. Hello, Alison and Kelly from the UK. And hello, we've got Ines, we've got Michelle, we've got Karen there. I hope you're feeling better, Karen. Welcome to the show. Now, Tiffany, this show isn't about readings. We actually tell supernatural stories. On our other show, on our Anne and Renata Frightfully Good, we do a reading show, but that is on Thursday nights Australia time from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. Sydney time, which I think is bloody early in the morning for our American friends. Hello, Emma. Hello, Conrad. And all these lovely people coming on hoping to get readings. Oh, it must be very heavily biased towards readings on the Spirit Realm Network. That we've got to train you guys out of that. We are ghost hunters. We are paranormal investigators. I hate to think, actually, that we call ourselves ghost hunters because we don't hunt them. We talk to them. We help the living. We help the dead. But we also love to tell spooky stories and open up a discussion on it. But we are going to be changing up the way we do our show. Now, just before I go any further, if the internet drops out, we will get back on. It just takes a little bit to sort of get firing up on the keyboard and get things working. But the internet has been woeful for a couple of weeks since we've had all the rain here. And I believe there's some states in America that's getting drowned at the moment as well.
Oh, yes.
Poor old Patrick's having a rough time. If you like podcasts, check out the True Hauntings podcast, which is Renata and I, but also the Big Seance podcast. Patrick does a fabulous. Anyone know any other podcasts that they love that's to do with the paranormal or spiritual? Pop it in the comments now. Let's share it around with everyone. But we have Spooky Sundays podcast as well, which is all available on iTunes, Spotify, and all of that stuff. And we're just waiting for a few more people. So, Nathan, you've had rain, have you? Oh, dear.
Yeah, so we are going to change it up a little bit.
Oh, sorry, yes.
And see if we can attract more of our beautiful followers overseas to be on this site while we are on.
You know,
just to make it valuable for us as well to be here. Otherwise, we're talking to thin air. And our beautiful followers that we have here. We wouldn't do anything without you guys, absolutely. But we would love a few more people on in the morning. We're going to do a bit more work on answering paranormal questions. So that's what we're hoping will maybe enliven this part of the show for you. So we will definitely still have some spooky stories, but we're going to try and answer some paranormal questions as well. Yes, Michelle, Believe podcast is very, very good. Absolutely. That's another Aussie produced podcast.
That's what we like, some parastalkers.
And so, yes, jump on over and watch some Aussie produced podcasts because they are absolutely fabulous. And look, anyone who does podcasting or anyone who does any sort of work like this depends on followers and depends on eyes looking at their work. That is the only way they can make this thing work.
What?
Robert, what are you going on about? I don't know.
Does Air do Jenny Craig? It's always thin and never goes for donuts. What are you on this morning, Robert? Yes, Audrey, I have seen Stranger Things and I love it. Absolutely love it. I've watched all the seasons that are out at the moment. I've loved watching those young actors grow up from like 10, 11-year-olds up to the adults that they are now. And I've actually gone back and I'm now rewatching Stranger Things.
I think, though, one of the things that they are talking about is that some of those teenagers are actually like in their 30s, but they're still playing teenagers.
Yeah. The core ones are now probably around about 18, 17, 18. But some of the high school students that started off are now this is the problem with Hollywood, because my son was an actor and he was over in America when he was age 16 to 18. He had a 3-year O1 visa to work over there, and he was up against 25 to 30-year-olds for the roles of 16 to 18-year-olds, and there's no limitations on how you can use a 25-year-old, but there is with 16, so the under the 18s, there was a limitation. There was school requirements. There was all sorts of things. So it's easier for casting directors to work with adults that looked young until they've got a whole season running, and then all of a sudden those adults are looking very old. It reminds me of Vampire Diaries. They're all still in high school and they're looking like they're about to get their walkers out.
Oh no.
Anyway, did we finish what we were saying about how we were going to change it up? So we will still be doing our spooky stories. We will do one spooky story, then we'll do some pareidolia pictures, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. We're hoping that our stories about the paranormal will then trigger some conversation about the paranormal. Now, why should we speak about the paranormal? What right have we got to answer your questions? Well, Renata's been in the field for 30 years, 25 years, something.
Yep, 30 years.
Since she was 3. And I've been in the field for about 11 years. And now there is a difference between being in the field as a paranormal investigator and studying the paranormal. We study the paranormal, but we also study it with institutions that are recognizable throughout the world. So the Rhine Institute, the University of Edinburgh, the School of Parapsychology with Kieran O'Keefe. So we are sort of trying to hit that upper college, university level education. And then we will put our own interpretation or bias, if you want to call it, on that, and we share our knowledge with you, not saying that our way is the only way, but hopefully presents another idea for you to consider. So that's what we're going to be doing. Meanwhile, they're all talking about Jump Street and TV shows. God love yous. So with that, Renata is frantically sharing. We're going to get on to the show and we will tell you our spooky supernatural stories for the week. Now, I've just got to switch this over.
I love the fact that we're background noise for these
I
people.
I love it.
For these
I
people
love it. Their
who,
community is just amazing.
who are watching, and we're kind of just the background.
Yep, there you go.
That's
There's
cool.
your. Oh, I think we may have just dropped out. Can you just pop over to the StreamYard top left tab? And I just want to check that we are still live.
Yes.
We are still there. Good stuff. It just looked like it dropped out here for a second. All right. So go back over now to this one, Renata, for 22. There we go. Up. Oh, it's painful. It's very painful. Go slow. There. Oh, we got it.
Okay. So as Anne mentioned before, our True Hauntings podcast, which is getting over 5,000 views
5,000 to 6,000
a week, is out today. So we would love you to be part of this part of our journey, the True Hauntings podcast, because something's got to be making us money at some point in time. So we are hoping that the True Hauntings podcast does.
Well, the problem being there is that there is a whole downturn in the.
Shut up. No, I do not want your negativity right now.
Oh, I'm a negative Nancy.
No, we really would like you to be listening to the True Hauntings podcast. You can find it on Spotify and iTunes. And today we release an episode all about Wicklow Jail.
It is today too,
in
isn't
England.
it? Yes.
Yeah, Ireland. Wicklow Jail in Ireland.
Which we've been to.
And we have been to Wicklow Jail.
I've been
in
twice. First time with Dave Schrader and all my crazy American friends. It was a hoot. All right, so Renata.
You name dropper you.
I am, absolutely.
So please
just want to give a shout out to Brian. How you going, Brian? And Chip as well. Hi, Chip. Hi, Paul. And also Bill, who is my mate. How you going, Bill? So, done?
Are you done? Are you done with the name dropping?
I think so.
Well, I don't know anyone, so there you go. If you want to be my friend, I'll put a link in the post, and you can friend me. There you go.
No,
and
I don't know Zach. I'm sorry, I don't know Zach.
We need to know Zach.
Do we?
We should know.
I don't know.
Zach.
We give him a hard time all the time. It could be awkward.
That's okay. I think we just add the name to the list. How about we make a T-shirt and go? We need to know you, Zach.
That could. Can we still keep the other parts that we had on there?
Absolutely. So today my story is about the ghost of Nan Tuck, and I come across these stories because don't start.
No, I'm just giving thumbs up to Conrad. I've got comments on popping up.
I always come across these stories as I'm scrolling and looking for other stories,
squirreling,
and other bits of information, and then I go, oh, this might be interesting. So this is a story of Nan Tuck, and it is based in England, and it comes from the area of Sussex in England. And I love this sign. I hope it actually exists, and that no one has just superimposed this. Welcome to Haunted Sussex. I probably think it probably is superimposed, but I think it's really cool anyway. And there should be signs like this on the side of the road as far as I'm concerned.
I had to look twice at that because at first I thought it said something else. But that's because I'm very naughty.
Yeah. So although the exact details are lost in the mists of time, it appears that a little over 200 years ago, a Mrs. Tuck murdered her husband.
I'm just putting that there so they can hear you.
All right. Murdered her husband by poisoning him in nearby Rotherfield. I don't know. Rutherfield. The crime was quickly discovered and Nan Tuck fled from home.
Run away!
With possibly the local parish constable. As this was before the modern police existed. I don't really know why that needed to be said. And local villagers went into hot pursuit. For a number of days, Nan Tuck avoided capture by hiding in hayricks and moving cross-country until finally she was spotted and chased down what has now become known as Nan Tuck's Lane in Buxted.
You know, Nan Tuck, I'm having visions because I used to call my grandmother Nana, and so I'm having visions of my Nana hiding in haystacks.
Yeah, but it's actually got nothing to do with her age, but we'll get on with that story. And Buxted is about 10 miles from her home, so she didn't really get that far But she did spend quite some time hiding out because of this alleged threat that she had murdered her husband. Yeah. So running into a wooded area just
those
off
lanes.
Yep, off the lane. Her pursuers were convinced that they had boxed her in and could finally bring her before the local justice of the peace. However, Nan Tuck had disappeared completely. She'd vanished without a trace.
Oh,
and
that's
she
ghostly.
was never seen again. Allegedly, to this day, there is a patch of ground in the woodland close to where she. Sorry. She let me say that again.
In the woods.
Allegedly, to this day, there is a patch of ground in the woodland close to where she last was spotted and remains barren with nothing ever growing on it. For years after, some residents from Buxton claimed that they were haunted by the ghost of Nantuck, and the mystery of exactly what happened to her has never been solved. So ghost tales and spooky stories are a staple of quiet villages in the countryside.
You know why? Because they didn't have TV back then, so they've got to make stuff up.
Yes. There was always a witch in every little country village.
Well, they were the wise women. They were the ones who were actually the healers.
That's right.
And the midwives.
That's right. So given that Sussex is full of both countryside and quiet villages, it comes as no surprise that one such ghost story is told in this particular East Sussex village, and I'm sure it's got even more ghost stories than just this. Buxton lies in the heart of the Weald, a beautiful part of Sussex that lies in the valley between the South Downs and the High Weald. They have the weirdest names for these places.
Well, you saw our naughty and nice road trip.
Now, it's a small village, home to about 3,000 people, but there's more than meets the eye when it comes to Buxton. In medieval times, Buxton was actually a powerhouse of UK industry and one of the most important places in the country.
Ooh.
The road she fled down,
it's a
Nantuck,
drawing. I thought it was a cave or something.
No. In Buxton became known as Nantuck's Road and is still called that to this day. Nantuck disappeared according to legend and she was never seen again. Now, according to local legend, a circular patch of woodland where she was last seen has been barren ever since and nothing ever grows there. Yeah. For years after her disappearance, Buxted locals claimed that they were being haunted by her ghost, and they said that they had seen her ghostly figure in the woods.
Ooh.
Now, the Nantuck's Lane poem by Roy Carnan is...
Oh, is this a poem? You're going to read us a poem?
Partly written here.
Oh, read it out.
You can see right in the middle of this map the road that is associated with Nantuck. So the new moon, older by a memory, through this sinuous line down and around Poundsley Way, following feet that trod the centuries across the Weald, deepening contoured tracks unknowing. The way imprinted to Hadlow, Framfield, Buxted, onto Black Boys, circiform meeting pointing the finger post of death. Following feet following years, crushed harsh grass, tearing the flower's wand, gaping raped petals laid cold on the lane. He'd been drinking.
I reckon you need a bit of a warning on this one before you read it.
Congealing tar, concealing blood.
Ooh.
The shape of your agony lay still on bruised grass, still on earth maimed by you fall. Tear-blurred memory retreats beneath track-patterned clay by a Sussex lane remembers.
That's a bit full on.
I reckon. That's the last time I'm going to read poetry.
Oh, I'd like to have a crack. I do like to read poetry, but what's the crutchy form, the one that you said?
Cruciform.
Look
it up. It's in the dictionary. For years after her disappearance, Buxted locals claimed to be haunted by her, and she was a sinister figure in the woods.
Oh, she looked pretty there.
Truth be told, there are half a dozen legends attached to the place known as Nantuck's Lane in Buxted. Was Nan an elderly lady or a young maid? Did her unfortunate fate befall her in the 18th century or the very early 19th? And did she disappear of her own accord? Or was she hanged? Or did she fall victim to a miscreant?
Oh, I see. So they could have done local justice on her and just said, oh, she disappeared.
Yes.
Oh, isn't it interesting how people blame the supernatural to get out of a bind? Oh, the ghost did it.
Interesting, isn't that?
Mm.
Don't know if I've ever heard of that ever happening before.
No, the ghost did it.
But there's another version of this tale, one which is rather more tragic. There is this story that involves two young men, the sons of merchants from Uckfield, who were in a carriage trotting towards Heathfield for a night's drinking and card playing with friends. Ahead of them, they saw a young woman walking down the lane in the same direction. The two men elbowed each other and sniggered. Both thought they could have a bit of sport. Climbing out of the carriage, they walked behind the young woman. She turned around and looked frightened, and they laughed. She walked faster. They walked faster. She clambered over a gate into a field, and they made a great show and hullabaloo of throwing each other over the gate. They ran to catch up with her. She ran. They ran faster, shouting at her to stop. Stop, it's only a bit of fun. Then there was a tumble-down shack, a rickety, rackety wooden hut, and the girl ran inside, hoping that she would escape them. She slammed the dilapidated wooden door behind her. The laughing men pulled the door open and went inside. "Hello, my dears," said the old withered woman. "My, but you're a handsome couple of fine young gentlemen, and no mistake." "Where's the gift?" they demanded. "Oh, you just sit down by the fire, my lovely boys, and she'll be there." The two men felt compelled to sit in front of the fire, and as they looked at the flames, they could see flickering pictures of a young woman dancing and an old woman stepping across the marshes and a baby crying and hares boxing. The fire grew hotter and their faces were burning, and they tried to pull themselves away, but they could not. The fire seemed to be blazing with all the heat of a Wealden blast furnace, and their lips started to crack and their faces started to blister. "Fly away, my lovely boys," cackled the old woman, and suddenly they were able to turn and flee to the nearest pond and push their faces into the green water. A few days later, a vengeful young man with his blistered face returned with a lynch mob, but there was no hut and nothing in the field to show that there had ever been anything there except maybe that patch of ground where nothing would ever grow. But then old Nan lives in Amberley Swamp, and Amberley Swamp is a long way from Nantuck's Lane. So this is how all of these stories get meld together into one big story. And even if you go from county to county, there can be a thread of the story that seems to linger and is attached to another legend from this other county or this other village. And so just like Nantuck and that revolting poem that I read, you can find these little bits that are associated, and then they become these ghost stories. Okay.
Sorry, I was just trying to do some work here.
Well,
I don't know why.
Thank you for being so interested.
Sorry,
Never mind.
I'm actually trying to do some work. That was beautifully read, Renata.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I
was trying to get over onto the YouTube to share it, but that's okay.
That's
you want
okay.
your laptop back.
Crack.
You have it back.
Crack.
Crack. It's crack time, everybody. But first off, let's just pop back over here.
Oh, God.
Because Sandra came up with a thing there that they may have been referring to the rapeseed plant. Remember with those beautiful yellow flowers? And they now call it canola here in Australia because they decided that the rapeseed plant was not PC. So
that's right.
Yes, they could have been referring to the canola flowers. So there you go. And honestly, we were there in April in England, and those fields were just beautiful. And when we were driving out in the countryside here in Australia during that season as well, it's just like it hurts your eyes almost. It is so yellow.
We did see fields of canola while
Yeah.
we were in England. Yeah.
Crap crack. I'm cold now. I'm just saying. I need to put my jacket back on. Because I turned off the aircon. It was a bit warm.
Okay, we are up to crap or cool pareidolia. So get your eyes into gear because we are going down the rabbit hole of pareidolia.
Before we do that, did everyone enjoy that one? Was that all good?
Don't ask, please.
I did. I thought I really liked your last story. I was trying to do some work. And thank you to Mary P, who is watching us on the Spirit Realm Network on the webpage.
Yes, Mary P. Thank you for being there.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We love you for it.
Yeah. All right. So now Renata has provided this today. Would you like my mouse to go with my little dongle that's still in your computer?
Okay. All right.
So we all know what pareidolia is. It's people who want to believe it's a ghost and it's not. Right. The coffee's kicked in. There may be no filter for a while. Sorry. That's it. The giggles have kicked in. We may get a wheeze if we're lucky. For those people who enjoy Renata's wheeze, please listen to the True Hauntings podcast. And did you know that we are going to be doing a live show? Before we go on to that, just let me pop back out. We are doing a live show of the True Hauntings podcast at Maitland Jail. So we will be sitting at our table with our microphones, because you probably can't see those. We have all our studio microphones and things here that we normally sit in our quiet little room and record True Hauntings, where we giggle and cackle to ourselves, and you only get to hear bits and pieces of that. And we are going to be on a stage in B Wing of Maitland Jail.
And you get to pay for this. I think that's awesome.
You also get a cup of tea, a coffee, and a nice Vovo. But also you get a little tour of Maitland Jail before we start. So those tickets for those who are near the Maitland area, or those who want to fly in for the occasion, that is the 24th of August. So for all you people in America, it's not that far, or England.
We'll get to get now. Can I just ask, does everyone know what an iced Vovo is? Because maybe we need to explain that.
Why?
It is a cookie or a biscuit.
Well, biscuits are only Australian. Biscuits in America are scones.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No.
Oh,
so a cookie. And Anne is going to send you a picture. We're going to link a picture of an iced Vovo. And I don't know why we're going there because, doggy iced Vovo.
What? Doggy iced? That's not what I was expecting. That will give them the idea. All right. Oh my God, they're $14.99 a pack. What the hell? Hang on. Oh, this is just going really bad. Hang on, share screen. It's all right, Robert's enjoying your wheezing. There we go. I've got this. We've got it. And if I pop this up into the stream, there you go. There's the iced Vovos.
If there is anyone out there that has ADHD, you're going to understand what's going on. You will be the only ones that truly understand what's happening if you have ADHD or you're on drugs.
So iced Vovos is a sweet cookie with some pink marshmallow along the side with a stripe of raspberry or strawberry jam in the middle, and then sprinkled with coconut over the top. You realise we're going to have some iced Vovos there now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Melissa, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We've lost the plot. And I now have to stop screen sharing and then go back and find the original. I thought it was worthwhile sharing that for everyone.
Yes, it was, because we mentioned ice vavos.
Oh,
and
guess what?
People.
We've lost the audience. Oh, no, there it is. We've got it. It's all good. And to stream. Oh.
We can't do it.
It's all good. We're fine. We're
All
fine.
right,
We've got this.
pareidolia.
Oh, I've got tears. I've got tears.
Yes, and it's crunchy. It is crunchy.
I can't.
It's very, very sweet.
I can't get it up. Hang on. Where is it? This one, Renata, it says.
Okay.
She keeps losing them. All right.
So the eerie CCTV video shows what looks like a small girl in a dress walking behind a waitress.
What?
So we had to get closer. Well, kind of. Look what is in the circle. That's what you got to look at. Yes. So a small girl walking in a long dress behind the waitress.
Bullshit.
As she clears tables at the Lamb and Lion pub. It left assistant manager Lee Smith, 32, creeped out after the apparent apparition was caught on his camera around 10:30 a.m. last Wednesday, a long time ago. He jumped back in shock after noticing the ghostly figure while checking footage at the popular York pub. So obviously we have a screenshot, and what he saw would be a moving figure. So this is what I guess is difficult for us to try and understand. Maybe if you had seen it as a walking figure, it may have looked different. So there is no proof the episode was the work of a ghost, but customers have previously reported paranormal activity, including hearing a child crying in the room above. I saw the outline of what appeared to be a ghost, which caused me to jump back in shock, thinking, what on earth is that? Molly walked past none the wiser. That's the waitress there. So I called her and she came and looked at the footage. She was startled, as was I. Lee, who has worked at the pub for 4 years, claimed the footage is unedited and even the most ardent non-believers could be convinced.
Did you watch the video footage?
No. The camera is close to the bar area and I was round there setting up after breakfast. I was checking the CCTV to see where my colleague Molly was as we were cleaning and preparing for the day ahead. She did say she thought I was in the room with her and felt someone behind her. I don't believe in ghosts, but the footage is pretty convincing. A lot of people are saying it's the light glaring through the window, and someone said it could be cobwebs, but there aren't any. So what do you think? Now, I know it is really hard to try and, confirm something from that, but I think if you saw the...
oh, hang on. I don't think it's changed. Did the no pick yet? Okay, so it hasn't shared. Just give me 2 seconds. I have to reboot that. Blessed be. All right, so I've got to go to present. Love the internet. Present a view. Present. And then I go up to here and I've got to go to share, slide, share screen, Chrome tab, audience window. Why is it saying that? Enter full screen mode and add to stream. Hopefully this will change. So we can't see that screen from where we are. So let me get back up to there. Whee! So you've got the story at least. I'll put the picture back up for you. See if that's worked. There we are. You've got it now. Oh, thank you, Melissa.
So, like I said, it could be a little girl in a long dress. I'm not sure.
The red hula hoop is there, Robert.
I think if you saw the video that they're talking about, the CCTV camera footage, it may be more relevant. But what we are talking about is pareidolia. So it is when you see fragmented images that your mind really assembles in its head and says, this is as close as it comes to this, so it must be this. So that's what we're talking about. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you so very, very much. But we can go to the next picture now.
Can we, though? This is the question. Can we? I need to get back up into here, and I'm just going to check that it has. Yep, it has.
Right, so this is the next one.
Oh. Okay. Yep. Rightio.
And I don't know why I don't have a description about this.
Just make one up. What's it from down there? Something top 10 toy toe.
We need to get off.
You've heard of the wall? The wall is looming. We've hit the wall this morning. So there we are.
Yes, so this is, again, another pareidolia that people have put up. And this weird, it seems to, like, what do people think it is?
It's a seal that's flying through the air with its mouth open, ready to catch a fish.
It looks like a bit of a face. It looks like
there's a black shadow with 2 yellow eyes there.
So there is some sort of light anomaly that it's obviously from ghost hunters, right? So from a ghost hunting episode. And
what I'm looking is that beam of light.
Yes, the beam of light.
And they've got a light source there as well.
Have they been caught projecting something? That would be weird.
Yeah, that's very odd. Hummingbird. Ah, yes.
Could be a hummingbird. It's dark. It's late at night. No reason for a hummingbird to be up at that particular time. Wallpaper
Especially
is falling
transparent
off.
One.
Yeah, so this is...
I thought it was the Pope at first glance.
This is one of those pictures where your mind is desperately trying to fit it into some sort of a shape that you are aware of. And this is just perfect pareidolia, because 10 people will look at it and 10 people will see something different. But is it paranormal? Not sure. Not sure. You have to take into account that there is one person there in the foreground playing with something that is producing light and streaming that light to the left and to the right.
Something else that produced something that wasn't light. So.
Yeah, so it's one of those weird things where you just don't know. But this has come up on a site that says this is something ghostly.
Someone vaping in the cupboard. Conrad said sounds like matrixing, which is what pareidolia is, where the brain tries to create sense out of something that it is seeing. Okay, you guys are cracking me up. Your comments are hilarious. Let me get back over to the show.
Yeah, I need to stop talking.
No, you don't. It's fabulous. All right, so that's our pareidolia for the day. We're now going to get on to my little part, which is that's not my mum, or mom, as we would say in America. Can you say mom?
I'm not saying anything right now. I'm just sitting back.
So what I've done is I have found you some spooky short stories, which I'm going to share with you. And mine came from the Reader's Digest that collected it from Reddit and places like that. Very reliable source for true ghost stories. Oh, you ready to get your popcorn out, turn the lights down low, put a torch underneath your chin, and off we go. One night, when I was 10, obviously I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about the person that's reporting the story. I was woken up by my bedroom door opening, followed by someone sitting on my bed.
I can't make that noise.
So this is them recalling a childhood brush with a ghost. I felt my leg grazed and the bed sink under a person's weight. It's just Mum, I thought, and I opened up my eyes. It was not my mum. I found an eyeless boy. He had black, empty sockets, about my age, sitting at the foot of my bed. He extended his hand, and in it was a little box. I was startled, but I reached out because what boy doesn't want to have a little box in their hand? He pulled back. I reached again and said, "Give it." It's a bit presumptuous, isn't it? Then I blinked, and when I reopened my eyes, he was gone, but I could still see the imprint where he had sat on my bed. That is known as a bum print.
Mm.
Fast forward 5 years, my girlfriend came over to do home.
He's 15 at this point in time.
Shut up. So my girlfriend came over to do homework. After she finished, she took a nap because, let's face it, after homework we all need to take a nap on your boyfriend's bed. She took a nap while she waited for her parents. When they arrived, I tried waking her up. She opened her eyes suddenly, looking up at the corner where the wall met the ceiling. She pointed there and went back to sleep. I shook her again. She came to full consciousness, and I explained what she'd done. She looked haunted. Up on the wall, I saw a little boy with no eyes. He was there in a Spider-Man pose, staring at me. I freaked out and told her my story about the same kid. Fast forward another 5 years. I was with the same girlfriend. Oh, long-term relationship. I like it. And we had a 2-year-old. Oh, they must have started that
Young
when they were
parents,
18.
18. Mm.
We were living in my parents' house in my old room. Yeah, see, we know what they got up to.
Exciting.
My daughter started waking up at the very same time every night. And she'd talk. After a while, I noticed she had almost the same conversation every night. I playfully asked her whom she was talking to. She said, "It's a little boy. He's nice. He's lost and looking for his mummy." Oh my God, she's got good vocab for a 2-year-old.
Absolutely.
Wow. My daughter's nightly conversations continued until we got our own place later that year. Ooh. Do we like that one? Do we like it? Do we like it? Sorry, I'm just trying to pop comments up because Renata's dropped the bomb or dropped the thing on that one. So if you tap on that, you'll get comments up. So what's your thoughts on that one? I know that when I read that it was a little boy in the Spider-Man pose, I'm like, oh, that's really creepy.
Mm.
Really, really creepy. But I've got another little story for you. Shall we go on?
Please do.
Please do. Ashley Street Ghost. How's that for a really scary title? Oh, look at this. Party. Right, so this is supposed to be another true tale, and it's from the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. This haunting happened in 1972, hence the picture I've got up there. Mind you, this is not a real picture. Cold. Ooh. In an attempt to warm up, she went upstairs. Oh, because heat rises, of course, doesn't it? The hot air goes up, especially with all guys, love how this internet just drops out randomly. We are just working on getting it reloaded, so we've got the presentation on the computer, so just bear with us while we get it back on. Renata, you got any wise words of wisdom while I keep working on this?
Absolutely no. But the fact is that sometimes these things happen, and as much as you want things to turn out perfectly, they don't. So we are trying our best with the internet at the moment. So just hang in there just for a moment, guys.
So this is on my phone is on the 4G, 5G network, and the internet at home has just been so bad since we've had all the rains. So if you've got some questions, pop them into the comments now, and we can answer some questions whilst we are waiting for the interwebs to play nicely. Reload. No internet.
Okay, let's just say goodbye.
Just give us a second. She's a little impatient today. We almost made it to the end. How far into that second story did we get, guys? How far did we get in? If you can let me know. Godzilla. Abracadabra. Can you hear me now? I'll just check that you can actually see me so that I know. Anything to do with the paranormal, Melissa, or anything to... Oh, we're back. Here we are. Oh, hello. Hello. All right. There we go. We're back on. That's it. So how far into that story did we get? Did we get very far at all? I'll just pop back down. We can hear you. Awesome. Or because we've only got a couple of minutes left, so I might... Oh, it's only a very short story. Let me just quickly pop up there and see if I can share that screen again. Chrome tab, audience window, share, add to stream. There we go. The joys of it all. So we were at a 1970s party is what was happening. So I'm just going to leave that with you, Renata, so you can keep an eye on that to make sure it doesn't drop out again. There was a 15-year-old girl that was there that should not have been there. And she went upstairs because she was feeling cold, I think. And then she noticed that the wall started to move. And out of that wall came a black shadow girl that approached her. Meanwhile, downstairs, posters were falling off the wall, left, right, and centre, into a pile on the ground. Now, at this stage, the girl wandered back downstairs where she found herself saying these very strange words. The drugs and addiction were my fault, and I accept responsibility for that, but I was not that way deep down inside. I want to apologise to everyone involved for what I have done. Now, what made those words even stranger was that the girl did not do drugs, let alone have any form of addiction. Her words didn't seem all that strange to the students who lived in the house because before they moved in, the house had been inhabited by a man with a very serious addiction. The reason he no longer lived there? He died of a heroin overdose. So obviously she must have been channeling that spirit who wanted to finally have the last say and apologise to, I suppose, his family or the people that he knew and friends. She's got nothing to add.
No.
You're the psychic medium. But yeah, and that obviously means that girl must have had some sort of psychic or mediumship ability.
Absolutely.
But what does it have to do with the black figure of the female that emerged from the wall?
unless it was part of his psychosis at some stage, and that's how he wanted to, I don't know, make
Hi,
himself
Peter.
known. I don't know.
Yeah, so there we go. That is my little story. We finally got there. It was only little. But yeah, if you've got any questions in regard to the paranormal, this is your chance. And we will. Yeah, once again, guys, we've gone. So we apologise for the shoddy internet. I hope you enjoyed today's show. We want to thank you for hanging in there during all of this. Drives us batty. But we will sign out now. Renata, any final words?
No, thank you for putting up with all of this.
Oops, I can't get you onto there. You are.
We do hope that at some stage all of this clears up and we don't have these issues, because it's not very good. What can we do? It's out of our control.
Yep. But yeah, so next week we'll be on with one story, and get your paranormal questions ready, and we will do our best to answer them. Love yous all. See yous on the dark side, and remember,
yeah, stay sane.
spooky. Bye, guys.